Hey man, have you ever been around a woman and felt that quiet tension, that subtle pull in her energy, but she acts like she doesn't care at all? She looks at you, then looks away. She responds, but not too fast. She lingers, but not enough to be obvious. You can feel she likes you, but she'll do everything in her power to make sure you can't prove it. That's not your imagination, that's her psychology, because the modern woman rarely shows genuine interest openly, not because she doesn't feel it, but because she's afraid of what it would mean to be vulnerable again. Women have learned that revealing their feelings first is dangerous. It gives power away, it risks rejection, it threatens the image of control they've worked so hard to maintain. Society has taught them that the one who cares less wins, so even when she's deeply drawn to you, she'll suppress it. She'll test you instead of trusting you. She'll act indifferent to protect her pride. But what she's really doing is masking fear. Fear of being the one who loves more. Because in her mind, love has become synonymous with loss. When a woman truly likes you, her emotions become chaotic. You'll notice inconsistencies, warm one day, distant the next, engaged, then cold. That's not manipulation, that's anxiety disguised as strategy. Her feelings for you are real, but they make her feel out of control. So she tries to balance the power by pretending she's unaffected. But that pretense is the very proof she cares. Indifference is easy to fake. Emotional restraint isn't. You see, attraction makes women vulnerable, and vulnerability to a modern woman feels unsafe. She's been hurt, ghosted, betrayed, or made to feel too much. So when she likes you, her first instinct isn't to show it, it's to hide it, because showing it means risking being misunderstood again. That's why she acts calm around the man she loves but laughs loudly around the one she doesn't. She's performing detachment not because she's cold, but because she's terrified of being seen too clearly. The irony is that women feel attraction far more intensely than men do, but they've been conditioned to conceal it under layers of social armor, sarcasm, teasing, emotional games, or even avoidance. When she's really into you, she'll start testing your composure. She'll say things just to see how you react. She'll pull back just to watch if you chase. It's not cruelty, it's insecurity. She wants to know if your interest survives her emotional storms. Deep down, every woman fears being disposable. That's why even when she likes you, she acts like she doesn't need you. Because if she admits she likes you and you don't reciprocate, it would confirm her biggest fear, that she's not enough. So she protects herself with pride. Pride becomes her armor, and indifference her defense. She thinks she's playing it safe, but really she's pushing away the very connection she craves. When a woman truly likes you, she won't show it, she'll manage it. She'll overthink every message, delay every reply, analyze every word you say. She'll act like she's busy when she's actually rereading your texts. She'll pretend she's unsure, but her energy will betray her. You'll sense softness in her tone, a flicker in her eyes, a warmth she can't completely hide. Because when feelings are real, the body always reveals what the mouth denies. One of the biggest reasons women hide attraction is emotional control. They know men value mystery, and they fear being labeled too available. So even when they're interested, they'll hold back. Not to deceive, but to preserve leverage. Because in her world, showing interest too soon means losing value. She's been told that her desirability comes from being chased, not from being honest. So she suppresses her instinct to connect in order to maintain her image. This is why most men get confused. You think she's uninterested because she's distant, but often the opposite is true. Her coldness is calculated self-protection. Her silence is a strategy, because she's not sure yet if she can trust your intentions. She wants to see if you're grounded enough to handle her emotions without judgment. If you get reactive, she knows she can control you, but if you stay calm, you become the one man she can't read, and that drives her wild. When a woman really likes you, she becomes hyper-aware of her behavior. She'll overanalyze everything she says, the way she laughs, the way she looks at you. She'll try to act casual, but her nervous energy gives her away. You'll feel that subtle tension in her, the push and pull between wanting to get closer and needing to stay composed. That's the female paradox. She wants connection, but fears exposure. She wants intimacy, but hates uncertainty. What's even more fascinating is that women feel more attraction toward men who make them wait. because patience triggers safety. A woman's deepest desire isn't instant attention, it's emotional understanding. When you're calm, she relaxes. When you don't rush, she opens up. But the moment you chase, the dynamic flips. She starts protecting her pride instead of expressing her feelings. That's why most women only reveal emotion once they feel you're emotionally stronger than their fears. Women rarely show they like you because they're trained to read your frame first. They want to see how you carry yourself, how you handle rejection, how you react to distance. They're not testing you out of cruelty, they're assessing emotional safety. A woman's love flourishes in peace, not performance. And if she senses you're too eager, too reactive, too dependent on her response, she pulls back, not because she doesn't like you, but because she doesn't feel safe to like you openly. This is why the quiet man, the patient man, the grounded man often gets chosen in the long run. He doesn't force anything, he doesn't seek validation, he lets her reveal herself slowly. He creates the space for her to feel seen without being pressured, and in that space, her walls start falling. Her silence turns into openness. Her indifference becomes affection. Because for the first time, she feels like she doesn't have to pretend. You see, women live in emotional performance mode. Everything from their tone to their posture is often filtered through self-awareness. But when a woman truly likes you, that performance cracks. You'll notice subtle softness, longer eye contact, slower speech, more presence. She might downplay it verbally, but her actions betray her. Real attraction isn't loud. It's subtle, quiet, and charged with energy you can feel but not explain. Modern women hide their attraction because they've been hurt in an age where vulnerability is seen as weakness. Every time she liked someone openly, she got ghosted, replaced, or ridiculed. So now she hides her softness like a secret. She builds walls of sarcasm and independence, but behind them is a woman starving for someone who won't make her regret caring. She's not emotionless, she's exhausted. That's why when she actually likes you, she becomes inconsistent. Not because she's playing games, but because she's fighting herself. One part of her wants to open up, the other wants to protect. You'll feel it in her hesitation, in her mixed signals, in the way she acts hot and cold. But that tension isn't rejection, it's evidence of depth. You've touched a part of her she's not ready to expose. A woman's attraction lives in her restraint. The less she says, the more she feels. The colder she acts, the deeper she's falling. Because showing interest feels like surrender, and surrender terrifies her. It makes her feel powerless in a world where she's told never to depend on anyone. So instead, she withholds. But that suppression only intensifies her feelings, and that's why the woman who seems the calmest often ends up caring the most. When a woman hides her feelings, she's not rejecting you, she's testing time. She's watching how consistent you are without pressure. She wants to know if your interest is rooted in desire or discipline. Because anyone can act patient for a few weeks, but a grounded man remains composed even when she's distant. That composure builds trust, and when she finally feels safe, her walls melt in silence, not words. The truth is, women reveal love through behavior, not confession. They'll cook for you, listen to your stories, remember small details, show up in quiet ways, but they won't always say, "I like you," because in their world, words have lost meaning. Everyone says the right things. That's why she observes consistency. If your calm remains the same through her chaos, she'll trust your presence more than any promise. The greatest mistake men make is trying to force clarity too soon. You want to know where you stand, but she's still figuring out how safe she feels. Asking for reassurance kills polarity. You must let her uncertainty breathe, because love that's rushed becomes fear, but love that's allowed to unfold becomes faith. Her silence is not rejection, it's incubation. She's growing her trust, quietly, beneath her composure. When a woman truly likes you, you'll notice her subtle sacrifices. She'll adjust her schedule to see you. She'll remember your favorite things. She'll make small excuses to talk to you. Those actions may seem casual, but they're her way of inching closer without saying it outright. Because for her, small gestures are safer than grand confessions. She'd rather show care invisibly than risk exposure openly. You'll also notice her conflict. She'll say she's not looking for anything serious, but her actions will contradict her words. She'll say she's fine, but her tone softens when you pull away. She'll say you're just a friend, but her energy says otherwise. That's not manipulation, that's defense. She's protecting herself from disappointment by pretending detachment. But every contradiction is a sign she's emotionally invested. The more emotionally intelligent you become, the easier it is to see through the performance. You stop taking her words at face value and start reading her patterns. You understand that distance doesn't always mean disinterest. Sometimes it means danger to her ego. And you stop reacting emotionally. You remain still, because when you're still, she feels safe enough to stop hiding. A woman's love reveals itself slowly, in moments, in fragments. It's never a grand announcement, it's a gradual surrender. She'll start letting you in more, into her stories, her memories, her fears. You'll hear her speak differently, less performance, more presence. That's the moment you'll know she truly likes you. Not when she says it, but when she stops performing around you. So remember, brother, when a woman hides her feelings, it's not because she doesn't care, it's because she cares too much. In a world that's taught her vulnerability is weakness, hiding affection is survival. Don't rush her, don't demand expression, just stay grounded, calm, consistent. Because when a man's presence feels safer than her pride, that's when she'll finally show it, not through words but through surrender. And that's the quiet moment when every wall she built to protect herself begins to fall.